This program is sponsored by Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, do we have a special treat and surprise in store for you today. A late edition, and boy, am I so happy to be here and be back. Shenanigan Sports Pub, 1300 South Federal Highway, Dania Beach. The one and only Pat Utter joins us once again.
Love to see you guys. Should we have a disclaimer now that I'm back, though, that whatever opinion I express has nothing to do with the show?
That's okay.
I think we should say that. I don't think you should be held accountable for my nonsense.
I like strong opinions.
No, it's not, they're not strong. They're very bizarre in most cases.
Okay, that too. Speaking, yes, but you look resplendent in the Irish Panthers green.
Yes, sir.
Got a big, I would say, almost pivotal Game 5 tonight, and we got back in the homestead there, Jeff Defoe DeForest. Are you pumped about things in general and this show in particular and tonight's activities?
It's always great being in the company, however, by video technology with the great Patrick Utter. I love this guy. I've been a Shenanigans. You know, Shenanigans holds a special place in my heart. I've mentioned it many times. The original location there in Hollywood by T.Y. Park. I used to come there all the time with my son. Some of my fondest memories, playing a little hoops. Then he started beating me when we stopped going to Shenanigans. But it was always great. And Pat, it was a pleasure anytime you run into him, especially at a racetrack when he's winning. There's nothing like being in the company.
Anytime I'm winning anything, I'm always fun. When I'm losing, I'm blaming everybody.
This is why
you're looking like a Dallas Stars fan, though. What's going on with that, Mike Mayo?
No. This is they had a special issue for the Panther.
Oh, okay.
In the for the St. Patrick's Day, so I got it in the green, all greened out, and I put the coordinating. Shenanigans.
Glad you clarified that. I was wondering if all of a sudden your affections were out west. But and Mike Mayo had a special greeting for the Panthers on the line today when he posted something about the Doug Sifu suspension from the NHL.
Well, you know, me and Doug Sifu had a little bit of a Twitter war going back 10 years ago. When
I was not aware of it.
And so when I saw that he got in trouble for comments that he made on Twitter, now X, it did not really come as a big shock to me because I saw in the past how he could kind of belittle people, and in my case, he didn't go across any lines. He just took some personal shots at me, which I'm used to. I've got very thick skin.
You think alcohol was involved?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know Doug at all. It's funny because one of my closest and dearest lifelong friends from Brooklyn, Brian Kaplan, knows the Sifu family because Brian's stepdaughter is like best friends with Doug Sifu's daughter up in New York.
Small world.
But Doug Sifu didn't know that and didn't particularly care when I would write things back in the day about how the Panthers were basically, feeding at the public trough and making all this money on an arena that we built for them, and that the profit sharing didn't work out so well. It was 99% going to the Panthers and less than 1% to the public, and then they got a $5 million scoreboard on top of it. And when he first came in, along with Vinny Viola, I wrote some columns critical saying that this is kind of corporate welfare, and they are skewing their books to make things in a way so that the county never gets paid. And he took a little umbrage to that and said, basically, shut up. You don't even deserve that. You're not even entitled to have an opinion because you're not a businessman. You don't run a business. You don't make payroll.
I always find that comical, though, because, me being a businessman and self-employed and stuff, I think that people like yourself that have a wide spectrum of of all sorts of things that you're involved with, sports, knowledge, everything, food, everything. It's how you handle criticism.
Yeah.
And people are entitled to their opinion. And I think that we have to just be, listen, you don't have to agree with them, but there's no reason to have a retort.
Well, look, if somebody wants to say.
What you said was right, though.
Oh, what I said? Thank you. And
it motivated him.
So it's funny because, look, Now here I am. I'm no longer on X. I don't wade into that cesspool. Facebook is good enough for me. But then I saw that he got in trouble for getting into it with a Toronto fan and used some language and made some comparisons that were not very favorable. And now he's gotten an indefinite suspension by the league. I kind of just grimaced actually I cackled and laughed. And
I feel like you felt vindicated.
And I said, okay, first of all, now I do have a business. I do make payroll every month. And and he's the one that's in hot water. And I always said you can't spell Doug Sifu without F-U. So F-U, Doug Sifu. But
wow.
That's it.
Clear in the air there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I brought it up, Pat.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Not that there's any bitterness from the past. You notice in the beginning, though, this is the funny thing about Mayo. I love this about Mayo. I mean, as we had the opening shot, what is he wearing? A Rangers jersey, which was an ill-fitting jersey at the time.
No, that would look like a sausage.
And now he's on the bandwagon because the Rangers are
look at the logo on there. Look at the way it looks.
Yeah, and now this is my shirt. This is my superstition. I am growing a playoff beard. I started a little late.
Nice.
And this is my superstition now. I wear this Panthers playoff shirt that Val got me last year. It turned out to be lucky because they won it all. And now
she didn't go to the gift shop there at the arena, did she?
It was at the new federal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably the same pricing is in effect.
Right down the block from our house. And she got this for me last. It was in the middle of the playoff run. And now this year, my superstition is on game day and the day after game day, if the Panthers win, I wear it and I'm not washing it until they lose another game. I washed it.
You could do the washing thing.
No, it's getting a little right.
Let that go. Let the washing thing go.
I don't know. We'll see. But big game tonight. Before we get into the Panther Mania, and I know this is good for obviously business here at Shenanigans, a sports bar where you can watch all the playoff action.
I don't know. People. It's funny that you clarify with that. But aren't we really truly Panther fans? I mean,
I am now.
I am because
I'm a front runner.
No, not a front runner. I mean, what they put on, what they're putting out there on the ice. I mean, the event is fun in person. It's fun on TV. I'm just a fan. I don't know.
Here's what it was. I carried a lot of bitterness, and I hated the team for a long while when they were in their Loserville. I was a Ranger fan, and with Doug Sifu and my personal animosity because he took cheap shots at me. Yeah. But, I let bygones be bygone. And I think you're the one who first tapped into something, Defo, where anybody named Zito, whether it's Nick Zito or your musician friend,
Mike Zito, the great Mike Zito.
Yeah, and then this GM came along. It's Bill Zito, right? And he's just been wheeling and dealing, and everything he touches turns to gold. He's made all these great trades. This is a team that's talented, experienced, savvy, a little annoying, but tough. But it's great when the annoying pests are on your team. So we got Brad Marchand and Kachuk, and it's really easy to root for, especially now that they are winning, and they've shown some great resilience, and they come back from down 2-0 at home, goals wise to, end up winning the 2 games at home. Defo, do you have a feeling that they can repeat, or is it all contingent on tonight's game?
It could be a possibility that we see a repeat of last year's Stanley Cup final with Edmonton up 3-1 in their semifinal series, and the Panthers sitting there with a strong position to beat Toronto and move on to the next round. You know what I'm curious about, though, Pat? I mean, I believe Shenanigans had to be in existence in 95-96, the original one.
Oh, yeah. It was
I just recently had
some of the most exciting times. Unfortunately, we got swept by Colorado, but the Rats and that's when we had the Huizinga family all over the place with the Marlins, with everything. But the Panthers back then was just incredible. Actually, we had the opportunity back then where we were the big dog in town back in the 90s. They actually came through there. We had some of the original guys. Matter of fact, I have the inaugural hockey stick right up there on the wall where they all signed it back in the day. Yeah.
Billy Lindsay.
I remember, great time. I don't know that we'll ever experience another time like that.
That was incredible.
Just the other day, I had a chance to talk to Doug McLean, and we were reminiscing about what that whole thing was like. And I would imagine every bar was packed. It was incredible. Shenanigans was a headquarters here in Broward, of course.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You had big screens being set up, like
outside in the parking lot. We had it, tables outside. It was a big block party.
Hey, did Doug McLean mention how the night he got canned, I showed up at Runyon's where he was drinking his sorrows away, and I just got in his face and say, How does it feel? No, I didn't do that.
You were an aggressive
Not a
reporter.
good move.
I would say you were assertive. You were like Manu Raju, that guy on CNN. Very
Exactly.
No, Dougie, luckily I'm not on Channel 7. I wasn't thrusting any cameras in his face. And I had a good relationship with him. And when I caught wind that he was at Runyon's in Coral Springs, as being the good sports columnist that I was, I scooted over there and, kind of had a couple of drinks with him, commiserated, and got myself a column for the next day out of it. And that was the old school, sports writing days. I do.
You were Jimmy Breslin back then. You really were.
Yeah. Well,
Roll up your sleeves.
boy, you're pulling out a name there. I like that.
Oh, he was my idol.
I
growing
love
up.
that name.
You know what?
Yeah.
A lot of people got into newspaper journalism because of Woodward and Bernstein and Watergate. No, I was a New York tabloid reading, guy. I would take trains to high school each way, and I loved reading the Jimmy Breslin columns, the Pete Hamill columns.
Oh, yeah.
There was a guy in the Post, I think, named Murray Kempton. Ray Kerrison covered sports racing for the Post. But I loved reading all these columnists, and Jimmy Breslin was my personal hero, and I got to meet him once and show him around. He came in for a journalism symposium here. Fantastic guy. And he was once asked, this is great, Pat would appreciate that. And he says, what's your biggest, highlight in journalism? The guys won Pulitzer Prizes and everything. He goes, when I go to the bank and cash the check.
It's funny that you mentioned that because all the great accolades you give to people, and there's all these nice places you name, Runyon's, all different restaurateurs and everything. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, when you say it's not about money, it's usually all about money. It's usually about money. It's
Like
usually
Jimmy
about money.
Butler.
Yeah. Jimmy, it's about money. I mean, no offense, LeBron James, when he was here, it's about money.
Yeah.
It is.
Any special considerations tonight? Because I'm going to be near the area later on today. I have to go down to the convention center.
Well, we have tremendous specials all during the evening, and also we have a special drink they'll create, which will give out when the Panthers score. We have a real great following with all the hockey crowd. This is a hockey destination.
I don't know if anybody could see that.
Shenanigans is a locals place. We're not the one that they put on the front page where you're running down and jumping.
I
in
know
the ocean.
the Michelin guide somehow skipped you, but
listen, I love Heritage, and I was very proud.
Reno.
He got a mention by Michelin, but here's the way I look at it.
And Larb
got it. Yep. And I'll tell you the truth. I like my accountant says to me every year, I started with 83 restaurants. You have the highest food costs, highest labor costs, and the highest liquor costs, but you're the only guy going 33 years.
Exactly.
Come back and see me in 33.
All right, this brings me to the heaping praise on you, because I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have been in business 33 years. Started off by T.Y. Park.
Yeah.
Very shrewdly
thrown out.
Bought this property.
Yeah.
But
it's funny.
you're keeping the tradition alive. You are a huge local sports fan. This is the place to come for. Not just the Panthers and their playoff runs, but obviously you're a long-suffering Dolphins fan.
Oh,
and not only do you treat your staff well, you care about the quality of food. I love the wings here. The burgers are unparalleled. You got the great barbecue going on the other side.
Yes, sir.
So you put out good product. You treat
all right, I'm over.
Wait. I'm not done.
I can't take anymore.
Treat your people well.
Yeah.
That's evidenced by the fact that I see so many people who've been here for 10, 20
Some guys
years.
have never had another job.
Yeah, and
that's huge.
And then getting to the other part, I love you and your sports takes. You could be a sports columnist.
Well, here's the funniest thing. I was the sports editor for the down the street South Broward year.
There you go.
I got to interview various people around here. Mr. Moorcroft, he was an NFL ref, and I'd bounce around. I was a caddy, Gibby Gilbert. Yeah,
journalism chops. But last year, look, I get known for being a little negative or maybe skeptical. But you sounded the alarms, and I got to give you credit. You were dead on, 100% accurate, right about the whole fate of the Dolphins. And the whole team and what Steve Ross is really in it for. It doesn't look like winning. It looks like, also cashing checks.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
and
look what he did with the formula and the tennis. You
are a five-tool player. You not only are a great restaurateur and run a great shop, but you are an informed and passionate sports fan and sophisticated. You're not blindly allegiant to a team. You want to see the Dolphins win.
Look, I have to give him a lot of credit, because when we would come here at the beginning of the season last year, and there was a lot of hope still, and they showed some interesting signs. Pat was already sounding the alarm, and as a fan who tries to be open-minded, it would frustrate me, because I'm like, I know he's a fan. Like, what is he doing? Then the season happened, and I was like, oh, Pat was right.
These guys, Lubie says what 11.
I thought they'd be really good.
11
really
and 6. I said 10 and I said 11 and 6 also.
Yes. I think they
and
went
you
10.
You checked in at what?
Eight. No, he nailed it. I think 8-9. I think he nailed it.
Yeah,
and
I had him win in the Super Bowl. You just throw that pizza at the screen and hopefully it hits you in the face. Yeah.
So look at this
it's
array.
A pie in your face.
The black and grilled wings.
Lubie and I share that great thing with the Dolphins going back to 72 and 73, right? And there's iconic places, Joe Stone Crabs, all these that are still putting this product on the field. But it's just insane that Dan Marino retired 26 years ago.
Right.
Okay, 26 years. So
do you know the last time they won a playoff game?
No, I don't want to know. We're going to put the flag up.
It was Dave Wannstedt and Jay Fiedler. I think they beat Indianapolis or something like that. And it was like the year 2000. It's been 25 years, Pat. Didn't it? It's the longest playoff win drought in the league.
It is.
Even the Jets have won playoff games since the Dolphins.
Bill Parcells comes here, the big tuna, and he's cut through the parking lot. And the valet says to him, who are you going to draft? He says, well, everybody thinks I should get Matt Ryan, who went on to have a stellar career as a quarterback, right? Yep. Just one of the things. And he looked and he goes, now that you said that, I'm picking Jake Long at left tackle. We're going to play smash mouth football here, boys.
Is that how Shula got his Kumaro pick too? Is he listening to the valet
Eric
guy?
Kumaro, I used to work out with him. I could bench more than Eric Kumaro.
Oh, Jesus.
Big tuna.
And you're a strong dude.
But I looked at him and I'm like, you're not benching 315 and you're going NFL?
Well, all
right. Before we get into the Dolphins season, I just want to go over. I have right here in front of me the little table tent here. Panthers game specials.
Yeah, there we go.
Cheer on the Panthers with these fan favorites: $6 Jameson Irish whiskeys, $6 Screwball peanut butter whiskey, $6 Absolute vodkas, $6 Jefferson's bourbon. Jefferson's is a excellent bourbon.
That's a great bourbon.
$6, and that's all throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, so come on in here.
Everything here is a 2-ounce pour. You get a strong, this is a neighborhood.
That's what they call
watering hole.
That's
just a watering hole.
That's what they call a rocks pour.
Yeah. We don't measure shots.
Everybody gets confused because they think they're getting charged by the ice. And I have to tell these people repeatedly, no, a rocks pour, when it shows up on a slip, means it's a bigger pour. And you get that standard here. Yeah. So it's
we don't do that. We don't have a jigger. We don't have a
really?
glass. No, we just free pour it.
Free
pour it. Have fun.
Well, no wonder why you're counting.
Yeah,
frustrated.
Here's the bottom line. If you always stay focused on just the bottom line, no offense, okay. If one of my guys I just named that for instance, but if Chris Greer, he's there and he does it, the boss says take. What do you think of this Lamar Thomas? I'm not taking him. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thomas.
How long can this go on? How long can
as
it go
long
on?
as he has the pictures in an envelope?
That's it. It's just the way it is.
It's ridiculous.
Oh man!
But I do like showing these black and grilled wings out with the Thai seasoning.
I got to take some pictures of these things too because
I pride myself on those.
They are pretty as a picture. Why don't we take our first break and then we'll go over again, black and grilled wings, chicken quesadilla. We've got the patty melt, which is one of those sleeper burgers. Obviously you
hangover burgers,
but great hangover cure on rye bread with the melted Swiss and the grilled onions.
Yes.
And again, the burgers here standard comes with fries and either slaw or pasta salad.
And they're the real good fries. They're not reconstituted potato. When you taste them, you're going to enjoy them. They're the ones we grew up on.
Crunch.
People would say like McDonald's style. They are.
Yeah, it is.
That's actually what it is.
People like
famous. That's what people like.
And last but not least, we got pizzas here, and you got a really nice Baker's Pride oven. It comes out New York style.
50 years old.
But this is the shrimp scampi pizza, we call it.
Yeah.
A little white cheese. And this is a Lubie favorite. He's already devouring half the slice, and it looks nice.
He's eating like he's going to the chair. You left out something, though, and it's CIFOOOOD, the seafood
Oh, I thought you were talking Doug
I
Seafood.
mean, Shenanigans, just some of the best fish, the sandwiches and all the
that's
other
my other
platters that they have
passion
are unreal.
besides family and friends and
Fishing.
fun and food is fishing. So I love fishing, and I got a good tap in here for some local fish that makes a big difference.
Yeah,
My
definitely.
buddy Jersey Kyle loves the mahi sandwich. Says
Oh,
it's the
thank
best
you.
he can find.
Well,
Best
hey,
in the
you know what
city.
else is nice is getting the fish tacos are good too.
Well,
They
what's
give them-
interesting is they do great fresh fish. Yesterday, we're at a place where a common dish, not only nationally but in South Florida's fish and chips, but we like how Even Kill does it because they actually go with like a higher level, higher quality mahi. What I love here is around South Florida, especially out east, you'll see fish dip at a lot of places.
Oh yeah.
They don't use amberjack.
No.
They don't use some of the other. They use wahoo.
Only
Just finding wahoo
Only one.
anywhere is impressive. They use wahoo for their fish dip. Like that is an upgrade that you will rarely see, if ever, anywhere in South Florida.
Thank you.
So, Shenanigans is the place to come if you are a sports fan and want to cheer on your team.
Yep.
All the playoff games, all these big screen TVs. They've got the outdoor patio if you want to smoke. Still allowing
Go for
smoking in the outdoor patio
Yeah.
area.
You go out on the left side. We have like a little cigar area, which we're known on the north side of the building, kind of private area. You can smoke a cigar and kick back. There's TVs out there.
Family friendly on the barbecue side. And of course, late night dining, which is anytime somebody on the Let's Eat group says, "Oh, I got somebody coming in from the airport late at night. Where can I go get
it?
Shenanigans?" Shenanigans is the answer because
we're open at 4 a.m. on Friday and Saturday night.
Wait, how would you cook?
Kitchen goes
You could
till
go till
3
2.
a.m.
till
3.
Yeah,
3 on the weekends. And during the week, a little bit earlier. But again,
If you don't want to go to Denny's.
I can't tell you how many times that I get bounced out of a poker tournament on the bubble at the Hard Rock. And then I would have to, say, I'm hungry, but I don't want to go to that crappy fast food place.
Yeah.
For just a couple of bucks more, you get so much better quality. I'll come in here and pick up a burger.
You can also decompress and lick your wounds if you got caught on the river during that tournament.
It is all good. Yeah, and that happens to me. I feel like who was supposed to win the draft lottery in the NBA?
That's what I
Or the Hornets,
the minute you said
or
it came
the
to
Jazz.
me. Yeah, the guy with the 1.8% chance.
Yeah, Dallas. After they traded away their star player.
Now they got a kid playing both ends
Did
of the
anybody
court.
actually see the ping pong balls
No.
come out?
They
No,
don't have
they
anyone in
don't.
that room.
No.
How come it's not like Powerball, Defo? I mean, shouldn't there be like a beautiful model and it has all the ping pong balls coming out?
How did the Knicks get Patrick Ewing? Did anybody
yeah.
see
Well, I
the
saw a thing
first
yesterday that
round?
was interesting. After every major trade, like when Chris Paul went from New Orleans to LA, magically the Pelicans get the first pick, ends up being Zion Williamson. Like there's 4 different major trades where the lottery pick magically all 4 times they get the number 1 pick right then. It's Dwayne Wade himself came out yesterday and was like, "Yeah, it's business." They're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just telling you they would rather have Luka in LA, and then they forgive that by giving you a chance at a young star in a small market."
I don't want to be.
It feels weird, man. I'm sorry.
I don't want
It
to be
feels weird.
cynical or anything or make
Feels
any
weird.
allegations, but there is a striking resemblance between NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Dr. Evil. So,
Well, I mean, every time an NFL team gets a new stadium, they somehow get a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
yes,
That's the way it goes. I mean, it's kind of like what's going on in Saudi Arabia right now.
Well,
No.
and you see
I'm
that
not even touching
the
that.
NFL is
No politics or religion.
right. The NFL is going to Washington D.C. for, I guess, they're building a new stadium, and I guess they're going to have an NFL draft there, and
What a
everybody thinks they're going to get a Super Bowl
They
there. And I think by executive order, the Commanders are going to be renamed the Redskins again. So,
There you
we'll
go.
see what happens. All right, let's take the first break
Yes, sir.
on the Lunchbox, and we'll be back with more with the great, inimitable Pat Utter at Shenanigans after these words. When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa de Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, go to tavernakima.com. When I get a craving for real Southern barbecue, Fat Boys Barbecue is the place that I call home. Cooked low and slow with proper smoke and dry rub goodness, Fat Boys has some of the best ribs, brisket, burnt ends, pulled pork, and chicken around. 5 delectable sauces and the tastiest collard greens, candied yams, and cornbread this side of heaven. 4 locations, including Deerfield, Coral Springs, Cypress Creek Road, and their newest location in downtown Fort Lauderdale, 706 South Federal Highway. Open 7 days with great lunch specials, online ordering, delivery, catering, and food trucks for your next event. To order, go to fatboysbarbecue.com today. That's Fat. All right, we're back at Shenanigans, and I'm chowing down on this great shrimp scampi pizza. I'm also dipping the crust in the ranch dressing from the wings. And I don't know what you're doing to me there, Pat, but I'm supposed to be on this disciplined regiment.
Well,
and
you're exercising too, I can
I'm
tell.
exercising.
That's a big part.
And I'm juicing, and I don't know if that will
I don't think
get
it's
me
called
banned.
juicing. I don't think it's called juicing, but there is an asterisk associated
If I'm
with it.
stabbing myself with a needle
Yeah,
every
it's
Monday,
juice.
and pushing it in my own body, I
Not
call
juice.
that juicing.
I agree with Defoe. It's definitely.
Only if it's.
Not
I
above
can't
board.
really comment on where you're sticking.
But you can just put an asterisk next to my name. But
It's
thank
fine. You
you
look
for noticing that I am trying to be a
Not
little bit more
noticing you.
fit.
You lost half a person.
Yeah, and I gotta thank Defoe, even though he was a little bit also skeptical about using the modern medicine, but he was very concerned about me around the holidays, and he said,
All you have to do, Mike, and
that
Patrick,
redness
is look at the pictures during the break
"Yes,
of Mike. I mean, there was just one. I think it might have been taken at Shenanigans, where he was literally almost, like you said, 50% larger.
yeah, no, it's I'm
So good
feeling,
job, good job. However you're doing it, you're doing it. I
I'm
mean,
feeling very good. Portion control. I've had one wing. I've had.
but the show's lost its edge. Do you agree, Patrick? Wasn't it much better when he was just stuffing his face on these shows? I mean, that was really the
The
entertainment.
slurping got on my nerves, though.
Yeah, the slurping, the big bites. I mean, I am tempted to go whole hog big bite on this the patty melt, but we got
to cut that in a quarter.
I could. Yeah,
It looks good. You got to
that's
get on that
usually
thing.
Lubie's job.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the sports talk, Pat.
Okay, where are we on?
And before we get into the masochistic part, and that would be the upcoming NFL season and the Dolphins.
Yeah,
let's talk a little basketball and the New York Knickerbockers. I mean,
wow,
we've right now. I love how everybody in the NBA is so sure of things. Like everybody's saying, "Oh, Cleveland and Boston. That's definitely going to be the Eastern Conference Final." And lo and behold, bye Cleveland. They got bounced last night.
Yeah,
and the Knicks have what looks to be commanding 3-1 edge on the injured now Boston Celtics, and Tatum is gone for the year.
A while.
Celtics go 9-2 without Tatum this year, 3-2 against playoff teams. So they do perform well, even though the guy's not in the lineup. He had 42 points, was having a monster game, but they're capable of winning without him.
Yeah.
It's not a foregone conclusion that it's over. And the Knicks are getting 4.5 points tonight. So the odds makers are telling you, hey, they think the Celtics are still alive.
Do you like this Knicks team, Pat, or you've been watching any basketball? You do? Okay. Like Brunson?
Love him.
How do you not like Brunson? The guy seems to be just...
I've been hard on Brunson. But
Lubie hates him.
That guy, I don't hate him. I don't know where to put him and what to do with him. But even I have to take a step back and go, okay, the guy's pretty for real.
Yeah, tough guy. Tough man.
He's a tough guy.
Tough guy.
And I got to admit, I haven't watched much New York Knicks basketball during the regular season, but I'm impressed with what I see so far. And I love
But do you believe, Mike, in matters of the occult? I think you do. And look, who checked out this year? Dick Barnett. One of the favorite Knicks of all time. Every guy at the park used to imitate the Barnett, fold your legs up underneath your jump shot. I think Patrick Utter even had like a high vertical leap when he did that.
Only left leg.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's their time. I don't know. I mean, to at least make the finals. I'm
this
sure they
should
can
give
by
Dolphin fans. I'm sorry, it should give Dolphins hope, because I think the last year the Knicks won it all was 1973. And when was the last time the Dolphins won it all?
1972.
72,
73.
73.
Yeah, so if the Knicks can come back from the dead, and
but you only need 5 guys, really, maybe 7 tops, right?
Yeah,
to win an NBA.
Thibodeau, you only need 3.
Well, with the Dolphins, okay, so you do realize in the kitchen the chef touches every plate. He plays it,
right.
So a quarterback touches the ball every play, right? So I don't know who can't figure this out when you tank for Tua to go to number 5
for Tua,
and you've been tanking. Sorry, it's time to get another guy to touch the ball.
Oh, good. Well, you're talking on the wrong.
How about it's time to get another guy to pick the guy who touches the ball? And we're still all. I mean, are you amazed that Greer still has a job?
No, because it's in his portfolio.
All right.
That's how I look at it.
He's got the bribe-worthy material. What do you think about McDaniel, the coach? Do you think he should still be given another season?
I don't think he has the talent. Okay, well, the guy's an assistant. He's flying over. You're my guy. I mean, look at Flores. He went to Minnesota. Great defensive coach. He said Tua couldn't do it. They didn't want to hear that. This happens in all sports. You know, the guy they got is the guy they go with. Baseball, whatever. You know, we're stuck.
All right.
We're
Well,
stuck. Gave him a long-term contract.
Getting back to basketball for a
Yes.
second, do you think if the Knicks come out of the East, and I still think Indiana somehow
They're going to beat them.
Reggie Miller is going to come off the bench and sink a 4-point play to beat the Knicks.
The Knicks aren't beating
in
them.
the conference
Tyrese.
final. Halliburton's pretty good. But doesn't it look like the West is going to just reign over the East no matter who it is?
I think that's the final. I think you're seeing the two best teams, and the Knicks will give them trouble. The Pacers, too. The Pacers go a little bit deeper than the Knicks, and they're a little bit more offensively inclined, but they can still play defense. But those are the two best teams. I mean, what they did last night was ridiculous. If you watched that game last night, I know it went late for some people, but to see Jokic and SGA go tit for tat, back and forth, and they also are surrounded by, like, Jamal Murray looks like Jamal Murray again, and what you're seeing from Chet Holmgren and Williams from the Thunder, like, to me, it's hard for me to believe any of them one in the East would stack up with either of those two teams.
But again, this is why they play.
They gotta
games.
play.
All
they
the
gotta
young
play.
people that know sports just say OKC. They just say it right.
I like
across
the Nuggets too. I think the Nuggets
you
are
like
right
them?
there.
Yeah.
Well, Jokic he's like a throwback dude. You talk about old school, like he just does all of it, and he's there for his team, and then he's quiet off the court, which I appreciate.
What happened in hockey last night? What did Winnipeg do?
idea.
Oh, okay. I know
Stars
Winnipeg
won.
played them. Stars won. So what? Where
Stars
is
won
that?
3-1. President's Trophy curse.
Yep.
Team with the best, most points during the regular season never wins the championship, and looks like now they're up against it, as they say, backs against the wall, down 3-1 to the Stars. Who, oddly, I didn't realize this, Patrick. The Dallas Stars were the favorites to win the Stanley Cup, with the Panthers closely drafting in there in second.
Oh wow!
I think it was 6-1 on the Dallas Stars and 650-1 on the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs got underway.
Before the playoffs started, right?
We
I
need
think
that hot goalie to stay.
now
The goalie being hot is the key.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
He had a good last
Bobo.
game.
Yeah, he did. Bobo. We
Bob
gotta keep
had-
He's got to keep it under 25
He's the wall.
shots. As long
Yeah.
as he has room to work, he's really good. If he starts getting barraged, he goes blind and lets in like 3 stupid easy goals.
Speaking of championship droughts, I mean Toronto
God.
Maple Leafs since 1966. That's the
Wow.
year I was born.
Wow.
So that's a
Bunch
long time.
Imlach was the coach. Bunch Imlach.
Yeah,
I think he
and,
took over for Toe Blake.
So I mean, I really do want the Panthers to repeat and go ahead, but if they can't, I want Toronto to go all the way and
No, get out of
really
here.
break that curse.
What's everybody loves Toronto as a city, as comparison to Montreal, which a friend of mine from Toronto described as a French ghetto.
No.
What about the food scene? I've really never spent any. I want to say I've never set foot in Toronto. Have you been there, Mike? Mayo?
as a former,
It's an English
hockey beat writer, and I've spent time in both cities. Both that Toronto is a very international city. They have a lot of immigrants and from all over different continents, so their food scene is multicultural and very good. Montreal is more into
French, it's
more
very
French, and it feels like you're in a European town. But they also got some really good Montreal style bagels, a little smaller, a little denser. Montreal smoked meat, which is a derivative kind of pastrami.
Oh, nice.
I like both as food cities. What I don't like, however, Defoe, is going to Winnipeg in February when the high was minus 43 degrees.
Wow.
And my tongue was frozen. I couldn't taste anything. Wow. It was so bad. And that's why I think network executives are cheering for the demise of the Winnipeg Jets, because can you imagine what the TV ratings in the U.S. And I don't know who has the Cup Finals, ABC, ESPN, but
ABC.
if it was like a Winnipeg and of Toronto series, the U.S. viewership
it
would
would be a
not
disaster.
be
But
very
they'd be happy.
Carolina would be a
We have
disaster.
to keep hating the United States teams.
Yeah.
We have to keep USA in there.
Yeah.
We have to have what's going on.
Before we get back to the Dolphins,
All right.
how's your son doing? Is he
Oh,
going to
Chaminade, I brought this out because we're very, very fortunate to not only have the Chaminade Lions and Coach Damian Jones here in our little Hollywood, but we have American Heritage and we have, here's my partner.
Are they
in crime,
making NIL money in high school now? Or
Yes,
Jesus.
unequivocally.
Oh, are they?
Hold on, let me hold up the.
They really are?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
Is that a real
Is
thing?
St. Thomas recruiting?
For
The
sure.
great
Okay.
Christine is here. Christine
They all
Utter,
recruit.
and she is taking some pictures. It's great to see her. It's great to see.
All right, so
Pat.
this is
yeah,
a
but they're-
complicated. This is a complicated thing. So
Okay.
all right, here I'll go through a rendition real quick. So yeah, of course, Jeremiah Smith came out. Last year, he got a national championship shout out from Ohio State.
He has a true freshman was the best player in the country.
And the year before he was at Chaminade.
He deserves them.
And then we had C.J. Bailey, who went on to pass for over 2,000 yards.
Oh, C.J. Bailey was Chaminade?
Yeah, he was a quarterback.
I didn't even realize that.
As a true
He's
freshman.
a stud at NC State. People love him.
Exactly. He's also a really, really nice guy. So
Chaminade.
we have a talent pool between St.
JoJo
Thomas
Trader showed flashes at UM.
Yep. And we have St. Thomas Aquinas, American Heritage. We have this melting pool. Now what's happening is Luther Campbell and the boys down in Edison have put a bunch of time and money and energy into Edison. They have a good feeder system right there from the neighborhood, right there, tough neighborhood. So NIL does exist, and what it exists on is these kids have been selling their craft since they were 5 years old.
Jeez.
They've been playing football. They've been doing this football. So 7-on-7 all year football. So you down here in Florida have a product that is just incredible.
So are people getting paid now for future considerations if they get the bigger NIL?
They have agents.
They really do?
They have agents.
That's crazy.
They have agents.
Crazy time. What about your son? Are you cashing any
my
big
son?
checks?
Well, here's the best part about this NIL situation. So where you have University of Florida, who has a walk-on program, and they have all that legacy, and they're giving money, and they're recruiting, and they have all the top tier. What they're really looking for is you to go prove yourself and then go to the transfer portal. So you can come and get 2 years at a JUCO, which we call junior college, or you can go to IMG and you can get your wares polished up, or a small school, and then you go. University of Miami baseball just had 9 seniors come in. Right, that's why the guy left in basketball. So what it is now, it's more. It resembles the NFL. It really does. It definitely does.
I didn't know it was high school though.
That creates an opportunity for my son. He's an overachieving, undersized guy.
Yeah,
great grades. Like he's got good kid, great grades, fast.
Yeah.
And what happens here? Well, the small schools need them.
Yep.
So we're looking for. Little sophisticated education and some friends and graduate,
That's great.
So it works out for all of us. The hired guns are going to the big schools.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, you're going to see number 1 ranked teams, just that top tier will be up there all over because that's where the money.
Is Chaminade also ranked in the top 5 nationally?
We were number 4 in the country, number 1 in the state.
Okay.
Oh, that's
that's on a rebuild last year.
Oh, I didn't realize.
That's on
really?
a rebuilding. That's losing 9.
Oh,
and last year we lost 9 Division I players, 2 to Penn State, University of Miami, whatnot, and they're rebuilding again. We only have 1 quarterback in camp right now, and he's slinging the ball and taking on all comers, taking on
high school football. Spring practice started.
We're going to have a scrimmage on Monday, and then we're going to August 14th we go against Boca.
Oh, good.
Boca was a 4A champion, but what happened there? The kid led him to a state championship, and he transferred to St. Thomas Aquinas.
Exactly.
So he's in a big quarterback battle with a kid that came from Indiana. They've been recruiting for years there.
I was going to say that's the thing is
they give you a nice house on Bayview with a sponsor. What was that movie with Saban in it where the guy came back and said
The Blind Side.
Yeah, he got blindsided because they didn't really want him in that house unless he was going in the first round to somewhere is what came out. Yeah, this is happening.
All right. Hey, let's take our second break, and we will come back and talk more sports.
I may have to bow out. I have to get down to the Broward Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
You would love this. A giant industry gaming convention is going on there.
Yeah.
It's a very popular event. Everybody that's in the gaming industry is on display and has some kind of exhibition going on. So I'm getting bombarded with texts. Where the F are you? Because I thought you guys were going to be on at 4 today. So
okay. So,
but on the way back, see now that's 17th Street, right?
Yeah, you're only 15 minutes from there. Listen, when you go off 17th and you're coming back from there, continue and go west to Andrews and cut down. Don't go on US
around the airport.
Go back. No, go back.
Shortcut.
Yeah, go through there and then punch right back out
by the Griffin Road, and then you turn left south.
Go a little further west of US 1. Don't make a left to come to me because it's.
Is there any chance, Patrick, that between the now juicing Mayo
Yeah.
And Lubie, who's all over the pizza. Will there be a couple of those blackened grilled wings? Which
Yes,
is
for the
pretty
wife.
good.
No, we'll have a fresh
We'll even
order
get a
for
fresh
you. Yeah,
batch
come get
for
it.
you. Is that
I
your
just need
usual?
a few, like a few remnants left in that little.
What was your typical order with your son?
With
You get
Jess,
some wings or some burgers?
You know what? I used to love the margaritas. That's
That's what I remember
I really
fondly.
did.
What a
Yeah.
shock!
But in fairness to you, it was so blessedly hot at Rotary Park, and that you were a good dad, doting dad, that you brought the whole crew over.
Oh, and the courts were not
Yeah.
smooth. I mean, you could definitely tear an Achilles just running around.
Oh, did you see that last?
It was a weird gravel type of court. It wasn't really paved right at TY Park. Back in the day, I don't know if they've improved.
Now you could bring your grandkids in with you.
Yeah,
Actually,
honestly.
take them to the gaming conference first.
But this the gaming conference, honestly, Mike Mayo, it's supposedly the sickest thing. I've never been to one of these, but I've heard about them.
Yeah, but there's no
And,
live poker game, so it's useless.
No, but yeah, I mean,
I got
that
a good
would
one
help
tonight.
you,
I'm
but
going to. So that's
everything that's going on in the gaming industry is going on at the Broward Convention Center right now and tomorrow. It's a real big deal. And
I
some
want to
guys
hear
are-
more about it because I think this trickle down effect is that what they're talking about is the Seminoles have it all locked up. They made $300 million in sports book, so they're talking about all us sports
what are they clear
places.
now just from Florida? Like probably $2 billion a year.
Billions, yeah,
Oh, it's
billions.
billions.
$2
They're
billion
a
a
sovereign
year.
nation. They have it
There's so
locked
much
up.
stuff going on. I mean, all these different, not just the apps, but I mean, there's so many different things happening with artificial intelligence, all kinds of different things going on. Unfortunately, these guys. Okay, I have two questions for you, Mike. The wharf. How would you rate the wharf? It's down there in that area. Is that any good? Did I miss that one?
The wharf isn't off 17th.
No, the wharf
no,
is
no.
on the river side.
Nearby.
Riverfront.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
riverfront. Right by
Yeah,
That's
our-
when we held the first
Yeah.
greeting party. Is that a spot that I should
I
have
It's
done?
a great
like
place if you're
Yeah.
20. And,
I was gonna say before
20
Yeah,
COVID,
it's
I
fun.
liked it.
Fun place.
It's a fun place. And what's the second question?
Tonight they have a thing. I'm not a giant fan of this, and I'm sure Patrick obviously has the big edge over any of the Duffy's locations. But
No, they're good. They're good.
what do you think?
I mean,
I don't
you're not
know.
allowed
I
to
mean,
denigrate others, but I'm not a fan of
I've been to
Duffy's.
one in a long time.
they're having a party tonight at Duffy's. That's the big after party tonight.
The one on
Duffy's
17th?
17th by Gilbert.
must be in the same complex as Gilbert's. No,
Go
Yeah,
say
yeah.
hi to Lenore and Richie. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a cheeseburger and bring it in. Will that
They
make
won't
me
be
look like a cheese ball that I'm bringing in a wrapped burger from another place to the party because I don't like the food there?
No, it's fine.
The key stop is
That's a
Shenanigans.
cool
Airport.
little plaza, though.
Yeah,
It's a
there's a
great
lot going
court.
on.
Yeah, great place.
Yeah, you can bounce over there to the
Not only
They
yeah, they have
South
the
Gilbert's.
butcher shop.
All right, here's what they have there. They have Gilbert's. They have an Asian place. I think was it
Yeah.
called Koi now
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Koi,
that.
yeah.
yeah.
They have a panda dumpling, which is a new Chinese kind of also Asian little place that's in the corner there. They also have Total Wino. I like going into Total Wino and just perusing all the different bottles. And, it's like, when you go to any Publix or Costco and you say, I just got to buy two things. Next thing you know, I have 4 cases of wine or something like that. And they have my friends at the Sunnyside marijuana dispensary. And again, for
nice.
those who have
If things
serious,
all work out at the gaming conference,
Can I stop in there before the party? I think that was.
serious medical conditions, serious
hurting me.
trauma, and again, I am a card-carrying member of the marijuana party now in
that's
Florida.
why you're so happy all the time.
It's made such a world of difference.
It's contradictory though to the shooting the Ozempic because I mean, how can you shoot Ozempic and then smoke a joint?
Well,
drop a couple of
it's
gummies.
difficult because it overrides. You got to get the balance right. This is what I've learned. I've got
It's
like
yin and yang there, Mike Mayo.
got-
Congratulations on losing the weight, though. Pat, just during the break, take a look at the pictures of Mayo in the various different positions that he's in, shoveling a sandwich in his face, and you will notice. I mean, it's a different person. It really,
Night and day.
congratulations.
No. He's the same person. He's just actually he's highly motivated. I like this new Mike Mayo. He's in all different directions. He's moving and shaking.
Yeah.
Even his tie up with Danny
Moving up.
Cagnetta. You're in everything. You got a lot of stuff going on.
It's all good, and
Like he said, he's an entrepreneur.
I am an
A
entrepreneur.
slim trim
So
entrepreneur.
take that, Doug Seafood. F you, Seafood. All right. Second break coming up,
Yes.
and then we'll come
We'll
back.
see you
And
later,
we
Dave.
got to take the third break. Thanks, Defo. We'll see you tomorrow.
Gaming convention.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Trans World to help sell. Contact Trans World on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at juans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Feel like getting away without leaving town? Then you got to check out the House on the River in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful restored historic home with indoor and outdoor dining right on the New River. You'll think you're in Charleston or Savannah. It has a gorgeous patio, porches, and private dining areas, and it offers unique experiences perfect for a date night or fun times with friends and family. It has weekend brunches, happy hour, dinner Wednesday through Sunday. There's also a high tea on Friday and Saturdays, and the popular House of Veuve Champagne experience on weekends. The House on the River is in Fort Lauderdale's Himmershey district, just south of the Science Museum. For reservations and all right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're at Shenanigans with Pat Utter. Lovely wife Christine is here, and I'm chowing down now on the patty melt. And nice. But just a quarter of it, a half of a half is a quarter. Is my math right, Lubie?
Yeah.
And I love this patty melt. You're right. It's hangover food, but it's also good to start the next wave.
You want to know
drinking.
funny? I was on my really strict diet for, I don't know, 5 months myself.
You're looking great.
Yeah, I dropped 27. But anyway, my first break that I took with eating crazy food was a patty melt right here last week. It's been downhill ever since. Brunch, eggs, corned beef hash.
I got to show something. You guys are keeping up with all the technology. Your menus, which used to be very large,
look like a cheesecake factory,
and like cumbersome and 8 pages, but now you've gone high tech. You can't. I don't know.
And you can look us up online and check. You can see this. Go shenanigansportspub.com. You can pull up the menu.
Yeah,
and after the playoffs, I think we're going to go after the Panthers. We're going to go to do it a DoorDash and an Uber Eats.
Oh,
I'm getting
really?
so much. Yeah, I'm getting so many requests for it. We're entering this summer. I'm just going to succumb to this new technology.
I was telling you yesterday, for the longest time, you have your, takeout window here where you drive up, you pick it up. And I've done that after the losing poker tournaments. And I just go right up to the window and Kennedy or somebody will bring me my burger. And it's great. But we now live in an era of, I don't want to call it laziness or entitlement, but these kids, they just want to sit on the couch. They must have their medical marijuana cards too.
COVID did this. COVID did
it's very
this.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID brought
very
this.
COVID.
Yeah.
And
COVID.
what I was telling you is that, even though these services whack the restaurateurs with a 30% VIG, you can raise your prices that are going out through these services to offset that. You can charge higher amounts. People are willing to pay for convenience.
Well, here's the thing with me with 30%. Most of my items are under $15.
Right.
Okay. So if you're talking about 30%, you're talking about $4 thrown on there, right? So it seems to me that people are interested in the convenience. And where I'm doing a lot of food is the chicken wings, pizza, and barbecue to go.
Okay.
People love the barbecue.
All right.
And it's all protein, and you can still do your diet and all that.
Yeah.
And there's not anybody really participating. So they've been approaching me. My whole point is when you're in-house dining, you have to have patience because now you're having another whole restaurant going out.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, you always want to give priority to your in-person customers, and they get a break because they will get the burger for $13.
Right,
$13.99.
Yep.
Whereas when you go on to the apps, you're going to charge $16 or $17 for the burger, and people will be willing to pay it, even with the extra add-ons that the delivery services charge and the tips and the stuff like that. But that's it. The kids, they don't care. They're stoned out of their minds. If they got their dad's credit card, like my daughter does all the time, I see these charges up in Tallahassee. I was like, $25 from Chipotle. What was it? Gold leaf on top of on the bowl, and he was like, "Well, I got it through Uber Eats." And I was like,
my God.
I had to study, Dad. I've got straight A's. Okay, Natalia, you're a good girl. Thank you very much. Yeah, lose my card, get a job. Well,
exactly.
But this is I'm not going to be complaining. I'm complaining. But all right. All right. So that's exciting for the future. Any kind of big before football season takes hold, summer specials, or are you going to be looking at some...
we're doing a big happy hour between 3 and 6. We have a whole happy hour menu, and it changes all the time. My chef happens to be really great with empanadas, and he's also doing all sorts of different flatbread specials and all that stuff. And we have a special, and then we have a late night between 10 and 12 o'clock at night. So we're getting a lot of people in the biz, getting out of other restaurants that are stopping in.
And that's another thing I appreciate about you. You got the late night action, and that's where you're really going to kill it on the Uber Eats and the DoorDash, because there is a paucity, there's a SAT word, scarcity of good late night options. And if you will be sending out some of these great wings and pizzas and everything out the door at midnight, I mean, there's a real market for
I'm going to run my menu over to True Leaf across the street. It's the funniest thing, because everything on this menu that has quinoa, arugula, and all sorts of different things my wife put on there.
Right.
And everything you're not supposed to eat as far as meat, shrimp scampi pizza,
which is phenomenal,
chicken wings, all that sort of stuff. And of course, patty melts. And what gets ordered, 90% of it is all the stuff.
The classic bar food stuff. I mean, it's better than what you consider bar food because the quality and the execution is at a point where that, I mean, I love coming here, but that's the bread and butter. People want wings, people want burgers, people want pizza, the barbecue.
Yeah,
and
barbecue is really a mainstay here now.
And with all due respect to Christy, and she obviously a fantastic runner, she keeps in great shape.
We're keeping him in good shape.
But if I want quinoa, I'm going to that fancy pants Pura Vida.
Isn't that funny? That name keeps coming up, Pura Vida.
Yeah,
it's like it's almost nice to drop the name. I like saying it. Like, does it make me like I'm going to Pura Vida?
It goes in. They've been expanding all over the place. There's one on 17th Street now. There's one over here in Dania Point. My daughter dragged me there for breakfast. We had a very nice. It was like
that's one with the ridiculous.
Yeah, but it was $60 for two for breakfast, and again, there's no booze involved.
No.
But it smelled really nice in there. it's like one of those, when you walk into a Four Seasons or a Ritz or some of those Vegas luxury resort casinos,
pumping in nice cold air,
the cold, like fragrance.
They have the Feebrees with the peaches in the air.
I don't know how
system.
They lace the air with crack and heroin.
Polar opposites of Shenanigans. You go 180 degrees in the other. We got Foxbow Irish whiskey for $7 and corned beef hash and eggs.
It is completely what you want out of a place when you're coming to root on your home team. And that brings us finally back to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
It's too early to say what exactly is going to happen, or is it? I mean, if they're sticking with Tua, and do you think Tyreek Hill is going to be on this roster come August, or is he gone?
It's like a necessary evil. Here's a situation. You got Waddle and you have him, right? So you have two of the fastest, greatest wideouts in the industry, in football. Yeah. But you got a guy who can't get him the ball. Okay, so what's the point?
I'm gonna stick up for Tua a little bit here. No, forget. Okay, Tua might not
deep.
be.
He can't get it deep.
He's not the guy.
Yeah,
but it's great that Tyreek is a speedball. But if you can't catch the ball, and his wrist was messed up, his head was all over the place.
And he's a jerk
I'm done with him. I was really.
Well, he's a hired gun. He left Kansas City. He left Kansas City. He left 2 Super Bowl rings on the table. Possibly go down as one of the greatest wideouts of all time. Not only criticized Mahomes when he was leaving, saying Tua was better, and he came over here and he is who he is as far as that goes. So I don't know what they're going to get for him.
He's
what are they
not
going to get
worth
for
the
him?
trouble anymore. And I know he's talent. You don't want to get rid of talent easily, but I don't know what the answer is anymore. You know what the answer is?
Yeah.
Becoming a Jets fan. Oh, my God.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're just
the Irish, we have a saying, you give a guy enough whiskey, enough money, and enough women, and you're going to find out what kind of personality he has. So that's it for Tyreek. That's it for Tyreek. And he's not Irish. Our Irishmen, they behave the same way.
He must have some Irish in him.
That's it. He's a man, and he's
had enough. Yeah.
He's got $250 million. So he doesn't care.
That's it.
Do what you got to do, and I'm moving on, tells the cops. So that's it.
We're going to take our last break, and then we'll get out of here. But I'm looking forward to getting back and dissecting every mini camp and preseason.
Oh, please.
Play and game we get in.
That's like going to a family dinner and going through the critique of
How
the meal.
about this? Me and you go to Madrid for the Dolphin game, and we'll do a lunchbox.
How about that?
There.
We actually lose a home game. So
obviously.
You think Stephen Ross cares about that?
No. There's money in this.
There's money in everything. International.
Listen, you got to say this because I've been to Hudson Yard. I'll wrap it up real quick. As far as developing skills and
it's great.
The way he's done things, seeing Hudson Yard in New York, also going down there, seeing how he reversed the stadium so you could watch the Formula track, the atmosphere he created. He has the tennis venue there.
The World Cup is coming.
The World Cup is coming. The guy is a visionary. As far as all right, so then you got the guy in Dallas, right? He's hands-on. We're in the same boat, right? So either way, right? What if he was expressing his opinion?
Yeah, it wouldn't be better.
We just didn't have the right GM. Let's face it. That's the way
the problem
it goes.
Is he's horrible at
the skipper, Chris Greer, it's the wackiest ship in the Navy. That's all.
There is some wacky ship going on.
We're a wacky ship.
If you want a ship that's coasting right now, you have your Panthers tonight.
Yes,
take on the Maple Leafs.
Class organization, despite the minority ownership. If you really dissect what he said, do you really hear what he said?
No, what did he say? I don't even know what he said.
I don't even want to get into it, but he basically ridiculed this Toronto fan.
Yeah,
the Toronto fan made a very unfortunate comparison, saying some of the Panthers' cheap shots in the series was akin to Israel, what they're doing to the Gazans, and then. Sifu went off and saying, "Listen, you 51st stater, you should just, we
lost a lot of business.
They went
Dairy Bell's for sale. All our Canadian friends, all our Canadian
Dairy
friends,
Bell is going to be gone?
all our Canadian friends are
the
leaving.
New location there.
Well, we hope to hang in there, but unfortunately, there's been a mass exodus from Meadowbrook. My family is Canadian. We have a place outside Quebec, and we go up there every year. Right. If you're going to take someone over, just take them over. Don't tell everybody. Just say we're just going to take it over.
I know Sifu's a piece of work, but Zito is the man, and he is the envy of all the South Florida.
I mean, how good has Marchand been?
Awesome.
And Jones, the defenseman.
And I love the Maple Leafs. like I thought Canadians were like tough and rugged and like
They are.
Their fans whine about everything. And
that's all they got.
And the Stolar's injury had nothing to do with. Was it Bennett? Like the Stolar's injury was from a puck hitting him in the face.
Hey, look, the Panthers
and he got a concussion, and his coach kept him in the dang game. That was his coach's fault.
Right,
That's not the Panthers.
And the Panthers are taking their share of some cheap shots.
Yeah,
yeah.
They've been pushing him around.
It's playoff hockey. This is what happens.
At the end of the game was over, and they like laid out the Panthers. Like, get out of here.
How about Pat Riley at 80? It's the new 60.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that organization next.
Meanwhile, we didn't talk
Riley.
about, I wanted to get down on the Panthers when they were trailing 0-2. I thought they were still going to come back and win the series, except I was in Nashville last week. I went into my Hard Rock betting app. It can't bet it in other states because they have the IP address, and Tennessee is one of those Bible Belt states.
Gotcha.
Gambling is a sin. I couldn't get that.
Were you driving down the road with your phone up in the air?
I think at that point the Panthers were like plus 290 or 300 to win the series when they were down 0-2. Couldn't get down on them, and then I came back, and it was Sunday night. But meanwhile, I did see a very good Pearl Jam performance, but I'm kicking myself because I hear that you were able to score tickets at the Hard Rock, where I thought tickets were only going for $1,000, which is why I went to Nashville. But you got them for at the ticket box.
Yeah,
at the box
and a lot of concerts are like that. I even made. I'm going to tell you real quick. I went on my phone and ordered a tickets, thinking it was Ticketmaster, was something else, and it didn't even exist.
Right.
Okay, so you got to be careful. Just being lazy, going back to DoorDash and everything. Like eating these Black and Grove wings fresh and crisp coming out of the oven and then traveling, that's up to you.
It's different.
And that's how it is when you do convenience. But they do have a great venue. It's a fun venue. Go to the ticket office.
You go right to the box office.
Go right to the box office.
Before my poker tournament, before I lose all the money, I could buy tickets.
And what happened is both days, the lady said, also, I tip everywhere I go. That's a little known fact. The girl there knows me.
It's amazing
I
what
give
a
$20 bill, exactly.
Here and there.
Have they released more tickets? No, but they're going to after 4
this
o'clock.
Guy knows his shit.
Yeah, he's
so
a guy.
I'm sharing it. Go after 4 o'clock.
So you got in these great seats for $177. The guy sitting next to you is paying $1,600.
$1,600, yeah.
And I schlepped all the way up to Nashville. I paid $150 a ticket, but I had a great weekend.
It was worth it for you, but now you know the
Nashville is not a bad place to go.
No, and it was
you saw a world-class concert.
And Peter Frampton joined them for a song up there, which was a real special treat. And,
yeah.
It was good. I'm glad that you got to see the shows here. I got to see a show up there. Everybody's happy.
Yes.
Let's take the third break, and then we'll wrap up this edition.
Yes, sir.
Before we cheer on the Panthers to victory tonight in Game 5 right here at Shenanigans.
Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen. Delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauce as smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, the finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information,
you got to get.
Oh, yeah.
Remember to
Yes,
give
we're
me
back
a shout out
on the Lunchbox, and it's great. We're taking pictures. We're seeing everybody. It's been a couple of months, and we just, again, proud to announce we have a new sponsor. Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse.
Incredible.
Is, again, Michelin Guide recommended, and Thomas Angelo and his daughter Cassidy are running the front of the house. And
No,
Daniel,
Cassidy's running it.
Right,
She's
yeah.
good. No, Tom's great, but Cassidy is. I've been in this business my whole life, and she is just.
She's
simply
great.
Incredible.
She's
incredible.
young, she's
Vibrant.
talented, vibrant,
Yeah.
makes everybody feel warm and
Yes.
welcome. And their steak program, they've been open about 7 months. And
Yep.
like any place at first, they were kind of finding their way, making some tweaks. And right now, it is without a doubt a very fine dining experience. I love the way, I don't know the last time you were in there, but Tom and Cassidy, they've put now on every table like a table tent placard showing their steak offerings.
Yeah.
And they'll say 45-day dry age from
Yeah.
Texas and
Yeah.
30-day wet age, grass fed from Florida, and all Creekstone Farms, and the all different cuts and how it's butchered and how it's
Straight,
aged,
direct,
and,
no math.
and it's just, you see it, and it's like a wine list when you go and you see
But
a nice
people
fine
like
wine
that,
list.
The room too. The room. The way they've got the room.
What do you
And
think
again,
of the lighting?
don't you like the
I love
lighting?
everything. Listen,
No, you like the
thing-
ambiance, right?
yeah, the closest thing.
Did you know my
92
girlfriend
Did all the
designed
lighting and the
Oh,
audio
it's
and all
incredible. And I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you this right up front. Back in 92, when Michael, when we had George Mayo opened up the original Bistro Mezzaluna.
Oh, I love that, on
at that little-
17th.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a bar. It's just perfectly accommodating, warm, one TV to keep up with the top current events on sports, perfect lighting, perfect setup.
I love the fact.
I like the high tops around the corner.
Yep.
That's where I go. They don't even. Cassidy sets me up.
Yeah,
That little
for happy hour, you can
little-
have
no,
at the high
I'm part
tops.
of the bar ambiance, but I'm not
I'm
sitting.
glad that you've discovered it and like it. You're
Oh,
doing
I'm
your
glad-
work for me now.
Yeah,
my
Tom,
work
I love
for
this.
me.
Well, I'm a huge fan.
So
Matter
I'm
of fact,
glad-
Tom and I have the same attorney, Brian
Oh,
McDonough.
Okay.
Serge
Well,
Weaver.
Tom is an attorney.
Yeah,
but
he is. But
only a fool would represent himself. So he's
yeah,
got
exactly,
a good
yeah.
attorney.
but he also is a great restaurateur, and his daughter is
Fiola down in
stellar.
Coral Springs,
Yep.
in Coral
Gables.
Gables is how
Yep.
I first met him. And I know Tom is a Fort Lauderdale guy, but
Yep.
he, for a long time, him and Daniel were running the show at Fiola, even though it's a Fabio Tedesco, again, a guy from DC, a great chef, but those guys were doing the day-to-day at Fiola. I met him there, and I was so happy to hear that he's bringing Daniels here, and I'm now even more happy that he's an official Lunchbox sponsor, and we're going to be doing our first show there tomorrow
So
at
stoked.
1 o'clock, so it's going
If
to be
you have $34, try his truffle-infused mashed potatoes.
I have had that.
It's
And
sick.
Sometimes
It's decadent.
What I love is, I don't know if you've had the foie gras creme brulee.
Yeah.
It's
Incredible.
a thing that it's a miraculous plate in that I don't like coconut, I don't like mango, and this plate has coconut and mango on it, and I eat up everything every time. Dan Ganem, again, some creativity,
big
high
fan. I'm a
end
big fan.
stuff.
Yep.
Yes, the price point is
Well, it's a fine dining steakhouse.
A
What do
fine
you want?
dining,
But a very casual atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
It
It's
embraces
not
South
stuff-
Florida.
Yeah,
well, they
it
got
does.
into the sport bar game too next door, but
I don't know
it's
how
a-
that's going to mesh.
it's a
I don't know
different
how that's-
type
yeah.
of climate for than you guys. But for
I'm a
that
locals.
for that neighborhood,
I am a watering hole. I'm a neighborhood sports pub watering hole. I don't want any pretense. Also, I don't pay any rent, so I do whatever I want to do here. It's not about chicken wings and hamburgers for me anymore.
Nice when you're the boss.
Yeah, it's just nice to own the property and do what I want to do.
Right.
So I can do a $6 price point. Other guys can't, and you got to understand
for
that.
the drinks.
Yeah.
For the drinks, $7,
$6
$13,
all night long.
That's amazing.
And every day they have happy hour drinks all day, every day, $7 for your
That's insane.
Headwind vodka, Fox's Boast,
And both
Irish
of those
whiskey.
are premium.
Those are
pretty-
top notch.
They are
Jameson.
Limerick top rated Irish whiskey. I try to introduce craft cocktails. You get, of course, you always got your Jameson and Tito's. Those are two dominant brands.
Place like this.
But if you come in, no, these are craft. These are in 750s, cork finished,
Right.
fine sipping whiskeys.
Nice.
Fine vodkas, and that's what I pride myself on.
Yeah, no, it's look, this is a very long running, any place that's been around and over 33 years.
Yeah.
Shenanigans has been in business at this location. It's going on
17 going on
years.
18. We're
Wow.
17. We're going on 18 in July.
That is
That's amazing.
again, great to see you again, my friend.
Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you
great
for
to be
coming.
back. Go Panthers.
Perfect.
We'll
Let's
do
go
it
Pats.
again.
We got to
We'll-
cheer it in.
We'll do it again next month, hopefully during the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes.
That'd be wonderful.
And until tomorrow, when we will be at Daniel's, a Florida Steakhouse. Again, they're dinner only, so don't drop by when we're doing the show because they're not serving any food, but they do open for a great happy hour on a Thursday night starting at 5 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow.
And it's a great happy hour.
And until tomorrow, enjoy every shrimp pizza, enjoy every chicken wing, and enjoy every sandwich.
Thank you, guys.